welcome to the second episode of SolidWorks Bootcamp. In this episode, we're diving into sketching. You learn how to start your first sketch using both basic and advanced tools. But before we jump in, let's cover something we skipped in episode 1, how to choose the right file. When you open the program, you will see three options: part, assembly, and drawing. Part, or .sld PRT. Use this when you design a single 3D object, like bolt, bracket, or gear. This is where the most modeling begins. Assembly, or .sld ASM. Choose this if you want to put multiple parts together. For example, you can connect a shaft to a wheel and see how they move. Drawing, or .sld DRW. This gives you a 2D technical drawing of your part or assembly, with dimension, nodes, and view. It's great for documentation or sending to manufacturer. So to keep it simple, use part to modeling something, use assembly to connect parts, use drawing to make blueprints. That's it. Let's begin sketching. First, head over the Sketch tab and click Sketch. That puts you into sketch mode. Now pick a plane, front, top, or right, depending on how you want your part oriented. Once you click a plane, SolidWorks will rotate your view straight onto it, and you are now ready to draw. Let's start with a simple rectangle. Click the rectangle tool, you will see several options. First, the corner rectangle. Grid for general shapes, click one corner, drag, and click the opposite corner. Then, the center rectangle. Perfect for symmetric parts, click the center, drag outward to define the width and the height. After that, the 3-point rectangle. Lets you define rotation, click for width, angle, then the height. And finally, the parallelogram, ideal for tilted or slanted shapes. Each of these is great depending on how you want to start your design. Now let's walk through the essential sketch tool. I will show you example of each in this video. Let's begin with the line tool. First, the line. Create a straight segment between 2 points. Great for defining edges. Then, the center line, a dashed line used for mirroring or symmetric reference. And finally, the midpoint line, automatically centers the line and extends evenly in both directions. Next, we have the circle tool. Start with the center diameter circle, click the center point, drag out to set the size. Useful for holes or rounded feature. Or go with the 3-point circle, define a circle by placing 3 points along the edge. Helpful for tricky layouts. Moving on to the arc tool. Perfect for rounded geometry and smooth transition. Try the 3-point arc, click the start point, end point, and third for the bolts. Commonly used in fillet or cutouts. Then the tangent arc automatically continues from a line to keep the curve smooth. And finally, the center point arc. Start from the center, then define the arc span. Great for control the radii. Now for the ellipse tool. Start with the standard ellipse, click for center, width, and height. Ideal for the organic shapes. Or use the partial ellipse when you only need a curved section like in less profile or flow bodies. Let's continue with the slot tool. Great for mechanical design involving fasteners. Begin with the strike tool. 2 clicks, set the center line, then define width. Perfect for bolt clearance. Then the center point slot. Start from the middle and drag outward, more symmetric. Or go for the arc slot, create curve slots for adjustable parts or sliders. Next up is polygon tool. Pick how many sides you want, then choose between inscribe, fits inside the circle, or circumscribes, wraps around the circle. Handy for creating gears, bolt heads, or special key. Now let's look at the text tool. Click inside the sketch area to type your label, ideal for engraving or embossing. After that, you can customize font, size, bold, italic, or even wrap the text along the curve. Great for product branding. Then, we have the fillet tool. Select 2 lines and enter a radius to create a rounded corner, add strength, and look clean. Following that is the chamfer tool, like a fillet but with a straight cut, at a distance or angle between the 2 lines, often used in mechanical fitting. And finally, we have the point tool. Click to drop the reference point, super useful for hole center or making the intersection location. Now that you've drawn some basic shapes, let's talk about tools that help clean up and modify sketch. First, we have trim entities. Use power trim to freely trim sketch segment by dragging your mouse like a pencil. Then, there's corner trim. It keeps the sharp corner while trimming the rest. Or choose trim turquoises to automatically cut up the nearest intersection. Next is the convert entities. This tool is super handy when you want to project the edges or faces of a model into your current sketch. You can also use silhouette entities to trace the outer shapes of a 3D model. or intersection curve to capture where your sketch plane slices through a 3D shape. Great for advanced surface modeling. Let's move on to the offset entities. This tool lets you copy your sketch line at fixed distance, perfect for outlines or gaskets. You can also reverse direction, cap ends for closed loops, and convert the base into a construction line. Then comes the mirror entities. Select the sketch you want to mirror, then choose a center line as the axis. Make sure to check the copy if you want both the original and the mirrored version. Now let's talk about the sketch pattern. Use linear pattern to repeat shapes horizontally or vertically. Great for bold hollows. Or try circular pattern to duplicate a feature around the center point, handy for gear teeth or hole arrays. Finally, we have move, copy, rotate, scale, and sketch. Use move to shift your geometry. Use copy when you need an exact duplicate in a new location. With rotate, define a center point and angle. Scale helps you resize everything proportionally. And sketch allow you to select specific segments and drag them to reshape. Very useful when editing contours. Once your shapes are in place, it's time to lock them in with dimension and constraints. We start with Smart Dimension. Just click a line or 2 points, and you can set the length, width, diameter, angle, whatever you need to define the size and shape. As you add dimensions, pay attention to the sketch color. Blue means your sketch is underdefined, it can move around. Black means it's fully defined, locked in place. Red indicates it's overdefined. There's a conflict, maybe too many constraints. To keep your sketch stable, SolidWorks also use sketch relations. You can make line equal, horizontal, vertical, parallel, perpendicular, or even fix a point in place. This helps make your sketch logical and consistent. If you want to check or edit the constraints, just right-click the sketch area and choose Display or Delete Relations. This gives you full control. Alright, that's it for episode 2 of the SolidWorks Bootcamp. Now you know how to start Sketch, use the main tools, and make everything precise with dimension and constraint. In the next episode, we'll turn this sketch into 3D models. So, see you in episode 3.